Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Tom Mods Things. Today we are back working on the 106. We have got the final little bits to do on the rear bumper, the Porsche bumper that we've been merging into the back of this Peugeot 106. So yeah, we've got a little bit more work to do on that, but we've got sort of really close to the end now with that thing. As you can see, we've actually got to the point where we got the car out and cleaned it, so obviously that's going to show exactly where we're up to. And then we'll also be doing a little bit of work and show you where we're up to on the Kingdom bumpers off the Project Saxo, which you saw in the last episode. We got running, driving, turning, all the good stuff on that, so that is full steam ahead at the moment. So yeah, without further ado, let's show you what we're up to. Right guys, so yeah, Peugeot 106 looking all lovely and gleaming again. As you would have seen on the last few episodes, it's been covered in stuff from this monstrosity. So this is where we're up to at the moment. So it's yellow because we've been using some filler primer just to start to fill in some of the gaps. But now we're on the sort of last stages, wet and dry, just to smooth out any of the imperfections in this and to create a nice surface for the vinyl wrap to go on. We're also going to get rid of this couple of bits down here and we'll see if we can smooth off these, but if not, we'll have to leave them, but that's not the end of the world. So yeah, so as you can see, getting really close. Sort of the edges and stuff looking pretty good now. Got all the seam lines. Anyone that follows the Instagrams will have seen what I'd managed to achieve with these sort of edges, mating up to the over fenders and stuff on this kit that's on here, the Car's Own kit. So yeah, looking pretty good. So yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to get some wet and dry, and we're going to crack on with just smoothing the top of this off, and then filling in any sort of small imperfections that we come across, and then we've got more primer to go on this afterwards, which will skim straight over the top of all the yellow filler stuff, but that's just normal body primer. And then after that, should be in a position then to get this sent off to get wrapped, which will be sick. Right, so we've been working away on this initial part of the wet sanding, and there are definitely some areas that we can improve on. Just going to show you what we found. So as you know, it's always warts and all on this channel, so effectively, as we've been working across it, we found a couple of areas of imperfection that I didn't notice earlier. So we've actually chipped some of the filler off. No idea how this has happened, but anyway, so we're going to need to sort out and repair that if this zooms in, and then also there's a little dip here as well, which you can catch just with the light on that, so need to sort that out as well. And then as we come around here, we bashed the end of this, so as you can see, we chipped a nice chunk off the edge of that, so we need to rework it so that it kind of fills back out again. Yeah, just never ending with this sort of stuff, is it really? So anyway, we're going to wait for this to dry, whip out a bit of filler, and then we're just going to start reworking those edges to get them looking absolutely perfect. Right guys, made some more progress. I think we're at the point now where actually we're going to be taking it over to Adit Wrapper Masters this weekend. Just laid down the sort of final coat of primer. Probably give it a quick wet sand before we take it over, but it's looking well good if I do say so myself. Bearing in mind I've got no sort of professional or even taught experience in this. This is just all YouTube videos, watching other people do it, and then just sort of having a go at making loads of mistakes myself. So yeah, let's have a look at what's going on. Right, and there we have it. So yeah, so this is the Porsche Cayman rear bumper onto a Peugeot 106, and I think you'll agree from just looking at it, it looks pretty damn good, to be fair. Who would have known that this is actually a completely chopped rear sort of lower bumper off of a Porsche Cayman bonded onto like a top section of a Peugeot 106. So yeah, not too bad. I mean, it's not, I would say, absolutely perfect, but for someone unprofessional like myself, doing it in a garage with basic tools and just sort of messing around, really, to be honest, that's the only way to describe it. I would say actually pretty good job, to be fair. So yeah, so we're going to be doing the last bit of work on this, probably just a quick wet sand over the top, and then we will be cracking on over to Wrapping Masters this weekend to get it done in the colour of the car. So really looking forward to that. This will finally be together again. Kind of everything is as it needs to be. Again, covered in dust again. I literally just cleaned this, which is really annoying. But anyway, so this is yeah, hopefully rear bumper goes back on. This is then back on the road properly. Happy days. Don't have to worry any more, which would be great. Then that car is going over to a garage to get the timing belt and water pump replaced. Thought, let's just crack on, let's chuck it over there, get them to do it in the meantime, and then while that period of time is going on, we can basically get the Saxo underway and bring that into the shed. So we're just working out logistics at the moment of effectively to move this to storage in the meantime when it's all kind of buttoned up and fully complete, and then we can bring the Saxo over here to get started on that. Now, I've got a couple of updates on a few things that I managed to pick up, because you know me, I absolutely love a bargain, and I love searching high and low for these sort of rare and interesting finds from back in the day, and these are definitely iconic from back in the day. So let's crack on and I'll show you what I've got. Boom. So there we go. So we have two brand new old stock of the absolutely iconic Audio Barn Flame subwoofers, as you can see in this picture here. If you were sort of around cars back in the day, you would have definitely known of this brand, if not know the exact sort of speaker that we're looking at here, the exact subwoofer. We're going to get this one out because this one's already open, but these were completely new, original packaging, and I'll show you exactly what that looks like in a sec. Right, so this is what that looks like. So just taking it out of the box, original packaging, as I said, even got, say, the original Audio Barn stickers. Like, how nuts is that? So I think whatever car this goes on, you can end up with some decals on the side of it. It might be that this goes into the rear of the 106, but it also might be going in the Saxo, to be honest, because the colouring of these is kind of suitable for that rear end, and I think we need bigger speakers in the 106 because we've got the whole rear end to play with, whereas the Saxo we don't, because it's got rear seats in. But yes, anyway, back to the goodness. So got the sort of original purchase cards and everything, so all the product ID and everything's all in there. Obviously all the tags are still in place. Owner's manual, the little Allen key that they give you to tighten it up. I mean, this is just like blast from the past. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll just fairly heavy whip this one out, do a quick flip, and then look at that thing. Absolutely amazing. Like yeah, just I mean, these are just, they have to, like, it's funny, isn't it, with subwoofers like this, they I think it's pretty much the law that you cannot mount this sub the other way up like the normal subwoofer, like you would do with that one down there, which is the normal way up. These have to be reverse mounted to show off all of this like amazingness, like just the amount of effort to get this sort of looking as it is, and like as crazy as it is just like mental, really, from what was sort of a mass-produced sort of subwoofer back in the day, really. But yeah, dual coil, I think. So yeah, one on one side, one on the other, which is pretty sick. They're not, I believe they're not the most amazing subwoofers on the planet, but they are still pretty decent. And they've got some good specs, and they've also got some good equipment in there. So these will be right at home, but realistically it's mainly for show. And so yeah, imagine two of these reverse mounted, nice chrome Audio Barn amplifier in the center of it, in the back of the Saxo, gonna look absolutely mint. So yeah, pretty sick little Facebook Marketplace find. So yeah, I tend to find all my stuff on Facebook Marketplace, or from people like you guys, basically putting me in contact with others that have got this sort of random stuff knocking around in sheds and in attics and stuff. So thank you very much for heads up on those sort of things. Always then another thing we've been working on is the rear bumper for the Saxo. So we've done a fair bit of work on that. I'll flip you around now. Right, so those of you who would have seen the video would have seen that actually we were missing the whole number plate plinth. It had fallen out, so we've rebonded and attached that. We've just added a nice layer of filler over the gaps and seams around the outside, so we can smooth that off and make it all lovely. We've repaired the massive crack that was through here, so started to smooth that out, but I think, as you can see, it's looking a hell of a lot better than it was. We've also done the same with the cracks that were running all the way down here in between the aftermarket sort of diffuser section, which is this lower bit, and then what is the original plastic Saxo bumper on the top. So where it had cracked, we've supported it from the backside, and then we've just sort of body fillered over the top, and then we've done the same, just been waiting to work on this side on that bit as well. So I would say this bumper's coming along pretty well at the moment. So yeah, we should be able to get this one fully back up and in sort of original condition as best as possible pretty shortly. The Kingdom bumper is still requiring a fair bit of work, where I mean there was a whole chunk missing, so we're having to rework through that, but not looking too bad. We are definitely getting there bit by bit. Just feels a little bit like I'm just sort of sanding and filling at the moment, but yeah, main thing is so glad that this is now up and ready to go, because yeah, this is going to make this car complete from an exterior point of view again, bar the exhaust pipe, which are up there. Hello. So yeah, so we've got to get that sorted out, but minimal really, and then this is back ready to go. Right guys, another day on. If loads of you follow Instagram will have seen that the 106 has left the garage. As you can see, no 106 around anywhere. Now, don't worry, it's not been sold or anything crazy like that. It's gone over to Pug Bits to have the timing belt and the water pump replaced, because as you know, I am inundated with stuff to do at the moment, and so anything like that where I know with my current lifestyle with a little child will be taking me a month at least to get sorted, and frankly I just don't have that sort of time available, because we want to be getting that car out and about to shows in the sort of coming weeks really. It was just basically the right thing to do, basically send it over. Yes, it's going to cost more money, but time is more valuable, so it means that we can get on with the other bits that we need to do. So those other bits are namely getting this ready for its new wheel to turn up. We've got the other one just sat down there, but yes, we ordered a new wheel for it. It's been about 5 weeks, sixth week is next week, and so I've been told that it's due to arrive at some point next week, which is cool. So it means that that car will be pretty much fully complete. We've did some repair work today on the front bumper where it split, so we've re-fiberglassed the inside just to give it some strength, and then we'll sand the outside and spray paint it and get it all looking presentable again. And then the other thing that we've been doing for the other big project on the channel is the front and rear bumper. So I'll just show you where we're up to with those, because we are coming along quite well at the moment. Right, so those of you that follow the channel will know that these are the front and rear bumper off of our Kingdom Developments Citroen Saxo. We're doing loads of repair work on both of these where they've had damage sustained from the time that they've spent off the road, previous owner, whatever happened, but there was basically some extensive damage that happened on this front bumper where actually I'm trying to get a picture up now, but effectively this whole section here was split all the way down here, so this was completely detached, and then there was a load of other work that had gone out. It obviously hit quite a lot of curbs during its time, so basically we've been working through, and this is by no means finished obviously, but it's complete, as in it's a single bumper, and where this was completely missing, we've sort of managed to build it up and fully reshape this edge. So we've got more filler to kind of go over the top to then start to smooth this out, and then kind of where we've got this here, this will start to sort of flex in as we use the mounts that were nicely done underneath to hold this center section up, and then we had a similar thing here where this had all split, so we've got to now this is all kind of together and bonded, we can smooth over the top of this and then get all that finished. And then same situation here where all this had basically a big chunk had been taken out, built over the top, so this is now nice and structural. This isn't going anywhere, and then we've really started to smooth this out, so we'll put more sort of filler over the top, do another pass to smooth it all out, and then this should be good. Filled in sort of some of the holes that had been done on this in various places for mounting a number plate at some point, because we're going to do something slightly different with this. And then as soon as we're all finished, we're also going to sort out this trim edge on this bumper as well, because yeah, that's not really going to do. We can't have a wavy trim line, we're going to have to just get this nice and straight, so but we'll do that right at the end. And then the rear bumper, loads of work done on this, same principle where this had fully split, now it's joined and nicely smoothed out. We had splits that ran across here, you can actually see the remnants of the old split here, but this is now, I mean it's not going to show it on camera, but I can promise you this is all nice and smooth now. And then we filled it from the back as well to make sure that it wasn't going to come apart again. And then you'll remember that actually the number plate plinth wasn't attached attached, and so we've attached this and, as you can see, smoothed it back in with the bodywork so that this all now sort of is nicely joined together, and then again split that was across here because this is an original sort of Saxo VTR top bumper, and then the splitter and stuff that's underneath, and then the two things are kind of, if we flip it over, bolted together on either side and then sort of through the middle as well. So yeah, this is kind of pretty much getting there. We need to do another sort of pass on this one as well, and then we can start to get this in primer and then start smoothing it off, ready to get it repainted. Still haven't fully decided what we're going to do with the Saxo. I think my kind of heart is telling me that we kind of want it to be the original blue colour, because it's kind of a bit iconic really for that car and people that know it, and so I think we're heading towards potentially keeping it the same colour. I think a lot of it will depend on whether or not I can get the dent and all the scuffs and stuff out of the door where something's clearly had impact with it at some point and sort of dented it in. I can't remember off memory whether the paint would have been alright from that point, but there's obviously all the fiberglass is split on the bonnet and also the rear spoiler, so realistically it's going to end up a full respray anyway, so I'm kind of umming and ahhing of whether we just get it all nice and smooth and primered and then we get it wrapped in a different colour, and then maybe we attend that at a later date. It's all going to depend on timing a little bit and money as well, because we haven't got an endless pit. We're trying to do this on as much of a budget as possible, hence why I'm doing most of it myself in the garage in my spare time. So yeah, anyway, so that's where we're up to with Project Saxo. So yeah, so that's kind of pretty much all projects. So we've got some bits on the Peugeot that just shows you. We've got the Saxo front rear bumper, they've been getting sorted out. Porsche's now new wheel turner up, and then are all ready to go on that. Right, and there we go guys, back in our possession. So car is now back from Pug Bits. Massive shout out to Ian and Finn for doing the work on this. So basically what we did is we had a cam belt change, timing belt back change, and also a water pump replacement, both of which from looking at it and from what they've said were a original part off the car, so the original one from when this was manufactured back in the day, so never ever been changed. So we're particularly crusty and horrible, so yeah, definitely required. But yeah, looking sweet, running sweet, definitely now ready to hit the road properly once we get the rear bumper back from Wrapping Masters, which should be towards the end of this week, hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, if you need any of your Peugeot bits and stuff, that's Pug Bits. I'll put a little link here, or a tag to the page in the description of this. But yeah, definitely go and hit them up. Top guys. Yeah, couldn't fault the service. Absolutely epic, magic. Right, so I thought we'd do a little bit of additional content, so we've popped over today to do a little bit of work on the Saxo, mainly to start to look at the braking situation on this front end, because that was all left sort of disconnected. Come up against a problem though. So last time you saw, literally everything worked seamlessly, perfectly. Put the key in, turn it over, everything primed, it all fired up. Today, however, we come back and the car won't prime, so we can't actually get it on because the fuel pump's not priming. So that could well be that the fuel pump's now knackered after the last time when we were sort of moving it around here, but at the moment it is dead. So we're gonna probably pry it off and just give it a hit with a hammer. That tends to work sometimes, the old universal tool of the garage. But just to show you what I've been looking at, so those of you that followed the 106 build will be able to draw memories on kind of the state that was in when we picked it up. Very similar to this. There's a few areas that are probably worse on this than they were on the 106 with regards to sort of rust and stuff, mainly on these bumper mounts. This one's sort of, yeah, not feeling me with tons of confidence, so we're really gonna have to try and wire brush this down just to see how far we need to go before we can remove all the rust, and then we're gonna have to treat it. There's obviously a load of areas that are gonna need some work done. We're gonna have to rebuild all these again because these are looking absolutely minging, but the springs and stuff, they don't look too bad, and the sort of well, drop links and stuff, they need replacing. Steering bits, they all need sorting out as well, because they all got chopped off by the previous owner. So yes, we've got a fair amount of work to do, and then routing through all this sort of cabling, because you know how much I love cabling, guys. So yeah, so this is for the alarm. Obviously, as you can see, it's not really alarming anymore. So yeah, there's just a heap of just stuff to tidy up and sort on this, but you know what, we'll get through it. We'll work our way through. So yeah, for the moment what we're going to do is we're going to try and get brake calipers and everything back on. No idea where the bolts are for that, so we're going to have to go and have a route round and see if we can find them, but if not, we're going to get the whole front end up, both wheels off, and we're going to start working on it. So yeah, cheers everyone for watching. Stay tuned for more content. We're going to be, now that the 106 is pretty much finished, moving that over. We're going to get the Saxo over here pretty shortly, and then get cracking on getting that roadworthy again. So yeah, see you guys soon. Cheers for watching. Goodbye.